Welcome to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are on the Biz Gone Social podcast. I am so glad to be here. My promise to you, as always, is I want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your business and help you stay social. Because after all, don't you want to be the business that everyone's talking about? I know I do. And welcome, Tom Paladino. How are you today?
All is well. Thank you so much for the invite, Lorraine. Thank you.
Great. So tell my audience a little bit about what you do and who you serve.
Okay. What do? I work with energy instruments. Who do I serve? I serve people and animals. Well, in specific, what am I getting at? I work with what is known as Tesla technology or scalar technology. It's a light, it's energy actually from the sun and the stars. And I've developed instruments to deliver that energy from the sun and the stars. So my work is new, it's unprecedented. And I've discovered that there are healing benefits, quantum health benefits, when you work with the energy from the sun.
So why is light healing, for instance, the future of healing, do you believe?
Well, light does not have any impediment. Light is fundamental, and light can be instructed. It can perform so many functions, as opposed to what I considered the existing medical model that has its limitations. There's no limits with light. Light is unlimited. So what do I envision? In the future, we're going to transition from surgery and working with chemicals, pharmaceutical products, to light, energy. So the healing tool of the future will be light, will be energy.
You know, is because you just got me thinking, is laser surgery a form of light, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And look at the advances that laser surgery has made. You know, there's so many techniques now that are being used that involve lasers or some type of surgery with light, or robotic surgery, if you will. Why? Because you can train a machine much easier than you can train a person. Or light is fundamental. Light does not make a mistake.
You know, it's interesting. I remember I had a surgery years ago, and literally a friend of mine had that same surgery 30 years ago. And they in those days they did something called like a bikini cut that leaves this massive scar, and I was able to have I do have a little scar, but it's like a almost like a just a little circle. And that, what a difference that makes. I live in the Northeast, so from pretty much just November to probably about March, it's dark more than it's light here. And I know that by the time January 1st comes, I need to go get sun. And so it's funny how, light has that power. I mean, I know people that get depressed during the winter. So anyways, I just thought that was kind of cool. What would you say is the single source where all light in the universe is initiated, and why does that matter?
Why does that matter? The sun and the stars will broadcast this light, scalar light. It's not electricity, it's different. Why does that matter? Well, everything begins with that fundamental principle, light. Energy dictates nature. Energy decides the course of nature. So I've developed instruments, scalar energy instruments. I'll show the audience one of the instruments. These are custom-built instruments in which I'm able to control that energy of the sun and the stars. Now, when you have this type of control, this type of mastery over light, then it can perform functions that are favorable. So this technology someday will be embraced. The energy from the sun and the stars is clean. doesn't have a carbon footprint. The energy from the sun and the stars offers unlimited energy. And then when you work with it, that's the key. It can perform a work function. It can perform certain things that electricity cannot perform. So this is the future of not only of quantum health, but the future of energy production. Why not just tap the energy from the sun? Why not just look at this of super abundant energy from the sun, from the stars? Why dig for coal anymore? Why drill for oil? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Now, is this energy that you could produce from the sun, can it cause a fire?
No, that's the beautiful consequence. Why? First and foremost, it doesn't involve any electron or proton. It's massless. It's without mass. Secondly, this type of energy, some people call it cold fusion or cold electricity. It doesn't produce heat. It doesn't abide by the normal laws of thermodynamics. It's different. So this is a new physics in which this light cannot burn. It cannot experience any type of chemical reaction or chemical degradation. So it's safe.
So how did you get into this? Are you do you have a scientific background? Is that where you're so
that's the key. I've been at it now for 50 years. And the key figure in my research has always been Nikola Tesla, the great scientist Nikola Tesla. And what I'm doing is, if you will, reverse engineering some of Tesla's work. Tesla was working with free energy from the sun and the stars. I can't accentuate how important this is. We are now in an energy crisis. Energy is in short supply. It's expensive. It's dangerous. It pollutes. Scalar energy is not in short supply. There's no pollution. It's never dangerous. So I say that the world shifts from this existing energy motif paradigm to the free energy paradigm. That will change the course of events in this world. We will change the future with free energy.
Interesting. So this is the part of the show where we get a little bit more real. As far as, there's a lot of business owners out there that are listening to this show. So what would you say you love the most about being in business for yourself?
The independence and the ability to follow my dreams. Now, I have a wonderful crew that we work with, and we all work as a cohesive group. So if you're a business owner, you need to find the right people. And you treat your help, you treat your staff as well as you treat your customers.
Absolutely.
I treat my staff like gold. I treat our clients, our customers like gold. And this is just my nature. If you want to get the most out of your group, out of your staff, make sure you treat them well and make sure that they respect you in turn. And if that's the case, you've got a great crew. Keep them.
Yeah, and it's hard nowadays. It's really hard to find really good help. I mean, my husband just hired a gem about 6 years ago. We still have him. And I have a gem who I made a hire 2 years ago. And I mean, if people just realize that it takes as much as it takes to train someone, and if you pick someone, it's more than just looking at a resume. It's do they fit well in your company culture? And it's really important because one person can make company culture really, really bad.
You're right. You're right. I've brought people into our company, our research company, and most of them have been beneficial. Those who just can't conform or do not want to follow company policy, you have to let them go. Okay, there's no hard feelings on my part. I'm not too emotional about this. It's just, it just didn't work out. So I would get a word to caution to everybody out there. Again, treat your help really well. Embrace them, and they will respond. Most people want to respond. Most people want to flourish. You'll meet some people who care less about the job. They're just there for the paycheck. But most people want to succeed. They want to succeed with you.
Absolutely. What do you think is the biggest struggle when it comes to owning your own business in today's world?
For me, it was finding the right people. Once I found the right people, the right group, and the right chemistry, it all worked. And now that the company's on autopilot, so to speak.
Nice.
I'm so proud of it. But I went through a trying time because many people did not work out, or they just did not have the aptitude. It's amazing, but that's their life. That's their decision.
Absolutely. So one piece of advice that you could give someone who either is just starting out, or they could be seasoned, or they could be thinking of owning their own business, and it's universal. So it's like, I always ask this question just to give people in my audience a little bit of encouragement.
First and foremost, if you're going to start a business, you have to make sure you have a valid service or a product. Now, don't spend your time and money and effort if you really don't have that confirmed. Once you have that product or service that you can offer it at a favorable rate, a favorable price, that's half the battle. You've won half the battle before you went into business. If something is going to give you a marginal return, or if you don't think you can compete out there, you might not want to start a business. Save your money to the next opportunity. There's no shame in waiting. So make sure your product or service is needed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. If somebody resonated with you today and wants to learn more about your Scalar Light Energy, how would they contact you?
The company is scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. Very quickly, when I work with people in my company, we work with photographs. This is quantum healing, the energy of the sun and the stars. This is my photograph. You will email us your photograph. We'll work with you for free for 15 days. This is how I establish my service. This is how I prove to you that this service is beneficial. So send us your photograph and your family photographs. We will perform quantum healing energetically through this interface of your photograph. This is not electricity. It's a different science. Scalar science is not electromagnetic.
Okay. And I want to thank you for being a really wonderful guest on my show. And until next week, everyone, this is the Biz Gone Social Podcast, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Biz Gone Social Podcast. Find us on Instagram at Biz Gone Social for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.